Good evening, everyone out there. This is J.Davis, and I'm coming to you from Brothers for a Better Benton Harbor. We're doing another video, and this is over our subjects for the mentorship program. And this subject for this month is survival. And what you see here is a little picture of a man figurine, and that's basically because we want to just put the message out there of what we have to do to try to survive the different things that we're going through. So what comes to my mind is that we're trying to wrap our minds around what's going on, first of all, in society, with the COVID-19, what is it, Omicron? And I'm working in a facility, rehab facility, and we're watching people come in and leave, and they're trying to survive this thing. Some people have tested positive, had to go out, or some being quarantined. It's crazy. But I want to talk on this word, survival. It takes me back to the picture of a village, which is what, when I started this mentorship program, is where God really gave me the mindset to think of our people as in a village setting, and what the village does, what the purpose of each person in the village, the things they do as the adults. And I noticed you survive better when everybody works together. The survival rate is higher when people work together. When you're trying to do things on your own, you can survive, but there are things that you can go lacking in, because sometimes what you don't have, another one will have. And if we act right and do right toward each other, the other who has will share with us. I'm thinking about the streets, survival in the streets. You know, it's interesting that I was looking at something on television. I think I happened to see just something, I don't know, somewhere the people were saying, oh, okay, Michelle Obama had appeared for a moment and said something about finding a place that's safe to raise our children. And I was like, well, finding a place that's safe to raise our children. I'm like, well, we can raise them. We're raising them in our homes or raising them in the neighborhood. And then my mind started to think, well, okay, well, what's wrong? Why would there be a problem raising the children in the neighborhood that you're in? But sad to say, in some places, the neighborhood that you're in, you're scared for the kids to go out on the street, to walk out on the streets, for whatever reason. Like in our neighborhoods, in the inner cities, we're scared for our young girls to walk the streets because we're scared someone may kidnap them, may pick them up for that sex trafficking. And so we're trying to keep them from going out by themselves, or, that they have to go out with someone older who could possibly fight off the person, or just not go out at all. So then they suffer in that way. But then I was thinking also, even in our neighborhoods, we're trying to keep our kids safe and surviving from not white people coming in and shooting or hurting our kids, but our own people shoot and hurt our kids. That kind of blew my mind back, because when you think of how neighborhoods are supposed to, well, for the black culture, how our neighborhoods was our safe place. Our neighborhoods, our place where we would dwell, especially if you go back for slavery, our little niche was our safe place. We weren't hurting each other. We've already been hurt by outsiders, but we weren't trying to hurt each other. If anything, we were trying to keep each other safe, trying to be there for each other. So now coming up to this day and age, it's like, I don't know, that's weird that it's not so much the white person that we're afraid of coming over and just breaking into our house and taking our things, or, I don't know, beating up our daughters in a relationship, or, I don't know, killing our sons. I know the white police, some people say, yeah, he's the enemy because he kills our sons. But now I'm going to have to check those statistics again, because it seems like it's more of a black on black is killing our sons more than the white cops. And it's sad. So the survival rate of a young black man, that's something to check out. There are better ways, though. We can survive this thing. We just have to change our mindsets, as the elders say. Elder Hill, Elder McCoy, and Elder Tony. They speak highly and speak well about the things that we have to do in society to change this thing. And I know we can change this thing. Some people have given up hope that I talk to, and they act like we don't, like, I see some hand waving out there. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to think. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us. I'm thinking about just us being clear-minded, thinking people, and loving each other and caring for each other again, because I think that's the missing component. When you're trying to survive in a unit, everybody you have to have a level of caring and sharing and commitment to respecting each other's borders, respecting each other's territory areas, not crossing different lines. And that way, because that's how even cities thrive, communes, and, is you have rules and laws set in place, and everyone adheres to these, and so then we're able to survive. Because if you don't adhere to the laws and the rules or whatever is set up wherever, even in your own household, you have, rules and things that are set up for the children and for the adults. If you don't adhere to this, then you will bring chaos, because everyone is doing their own thing, and people are get upset and get mad because people are crossing boundaries. So to survive, you have to adhere. You have to listen. You have to be thinking. You have to understand. You have to be willing to commit to and to share and care about others. I think things go a long ways, go much further when we share and care for each other, when we love each other. I hate to say it, but it seems like, I don't know, in our culture, I don't know, for some reason it seems like we don't love each other. We don't trust each other either. Someone was posing a question to me about why a group of men in a certain setting has not come together to do like a business deal, to get something going, to put their monies together and start something, because some people have come up with good ideas. I mean, some really good ideas to make some money, opportunities to make money. And so they were like, well, I went to so and so and talked to these different people, and they all were like, oh yeah, that sounds good, man. But he says, but no one came together and say, well, how much should we put forth, or how can we get this started? And then I say, wow, and I said, I wonder what was the issue. So when we thought about it, it's like trust. So we got those type of issues going on, and I'm just thinking, in order to do better, to go further, to survive, America, good old America, to survive this place, we have to really do some thinking. We really have to do some putting aside old stuff, old ways of thinking, and just jump out there and try to deal with the people. And I know people are like, man, look, I don't want to jump out there dealing with people, put myself in harm's way, because the folk don't, they don't care, they don't understand, and you could just possibly get your feelings hurt, get your heart broke, get used and abused. But if you do it with wisdom, I think that another thing is you're right that there is a risk when it comes to dealing with people and trying to be that good person and trying to share and care and everything. But we need to do more talking. I think if we can talk to people, if you had the words to express and say, hey, I wanna help you, and I want you to help me. I want us to do things, but I don't want to be used, and I don't want to, leave out of this all broken and scarred, because I'm trying to help someone. I'm trying to be a friend. I think just sort of like in marriages and different relationships, I think communication is a biggie. But also if we keep our eyes open and we're watching for the negativity and the craziness, yeah, we gotta do that too. But the craziness is all around us. As soon as we see the craziness, we run away. That's not good, because the other person could possibly die. They will suffer. Of course, they're going to suffer, and they could possibly die because they don't have the understanding that they need, or the wherewithal, the mind power to survive. And we're just up and go because we don't want to be hurt and we don't want to deal with the crazy. And I understand that. But just like in marriages, how do you know if somebody loves you? How do you know that they're there for the long haul? How do you know that they got your back, really? When at the sign of craziness, or at the sign of too much of a struggle, they up and leave. They up and go. They say, oh no, I didn't sign up for this. But yet in the vows, they did sign up for that. When they said I do, they signed up for it. They signed up for everything that can come, because it's safe for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, But, people, how they come up with the new age rules or new age stuff, and folks are just jumping out of things. If it's not easy, if it's too hard, they just, they'll bail. So, but this trying to survive, us trying to survive, we have to do it. We have to somehow connect ourselves with each other and talk. Learn. You have to learn. First of all, I think before you connect yourself and try to help others to survive and helping yourself, because in helping someone else, you're going to help yourself to survive also. We got to get information. Got to get some knowledge and wisdom on how to deal with people, how to connect with people. Because in dealing with people is very important. It's very important. How you deal with people, because sometimes you can deal with people, you can know the right things to do and say. Well, sometimes it's how, and a lot of times it's how you say things, how you come across to people. I found what comes from the heart reaches the heart. We don't need words and gestures that make things escalate. It's a way in how you talk to people that'll get them to listen to you, that'll get them to know that you really care, that you're really for them. Some people already know they're a mess, but if you don't, the thing they don't want is for somebody to be treating them like they're a mess. So you come to them talking to them like they're human and like they have some type of work and like you respect them, but not just like, but do respect them, and they can feel that. They even though they're out of whatever, if they know it, still they feel that when you come to them. So that's a way that we can survive. I remember because we're headed, man. I don't know what's going on, what's going to happen with us as living in America, as black people. We're trying to do things. There are a lot of people out there doing good things to help. But when you see the large picture, you see the overall, you see a lot more negative, this hurting stuff, all this killing that's happening in our city and stuff. I mean, it's like, wow. It's almost like you don't see the good, but there are people doing great things out here, trying to help us to be. But dang, I don't know, why does it take so much to have us to see that where we are and what we need and what we need to change? I guess people have to be willing to understand and take in and be willing to change whatever they need to for themselves as individuals, to be willing to accept that and say, okay, and commit to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something about this and do my part, like in training and raising my children the right way, like great-great-grandma and great-great-grandpa, the stuff that was passed down and then was dropped. We need to go back and we need to pick that stuff up and start putting it back in our children so that the overall society of our community, our neighborhoods will be safe and will be good, because we all will have that common caring and sharing and trying to survive, instead of that self-destruction mentality. I remember back in the 80s when they came up with that song, Headed for Self-Destruction, the rappers came together and they all came together because they saw what was going on with us out in these streets, whether it was in Benton Harbor or Los Angeles or Compton, wherever it was. People they came together because they saw, wow, the survival rate of the black person is going to be cut short here because we going crazy on each other. So when we saw we saw what the other people were doing, but they were looking at what we were doing to each other and how messed up our relations. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all to the forefront about this new year, 2022. Now, those were in the 80s where they were talking about the self-destruction. And when I think about that, where are we now? A friend of the family just got shot last week and a half ago. Mr. Rodney. I didn't expect that. And that's another thing. We don't. I have been telling people somebody needs to do something about getting out there and beating those streets down with protesting and getting us stirred up to do something to stop this stuff. Our young black men and everything to do something. And it seems like people don't do much until it hits their front door or sitting right there at their back door. You know, when one of theirs gets shot, then they want to do something. But me, I don't know. I want to do something now. It's not so much about it's all my people. We belong to each other. We all are part of each other. It's like they say it takes a village to raise a child. We're part of everybody. We're part of each other. All of us. When I see you and I'm somewhere where there's another culture, another type of people, but I see one of mine, when I'm walking and I see one of mine, I'm like, like a relief, like goes off in me. Because like, somebody I can relate to, somebody who I probably can speak to, or who I feel like I'm not alone. That's what it makes me feel like I'm not alone. So, but we need each other to survive this thing. So, and survival is what we're trying to do. That's our topic for this month. But we need people, please, let's do something. Do something to help stop the violence, to help stop what's going on with my black brothers. Because we need everybody. We need our black brothers, our black queens. We need us, and we need everybody to be safe. Our black children, we need them to be safe. You can't be safe in your own neighborhood. That's rough amongst your own people. Like, see if some terrorists or some other type of people were coming into the neighborhood and shooting and killing and doing stuff. But when you can't, it's crazy. I almost, you can't. I mean, you can wrap your mind around it, but then it's almost like, how could that be? Why would that be? But that means that there's no love and no respect for life, no respect, no love for each other. So that's how that comes to be. And so we need to change that. So we need to be talking, having conversations with our young black men. It's just plain and simple, be talking with our young black men. And it's definitely something is wrong with us young black men. There's something wrong, something going on, an anger, a disconnect to caring and loving our people. There's a don't care attitude, like a hate, no matter how much saying I love to my love to this or that. No. Well, we need to be loving each other though. You know, as brothers, we need to be loving each other as brothers, not just you loving your mama and loving your sister, but loving your brother and not just family, like brothers and cousins or whatever. No, be loving your neighbor, loving the other black men who are not related to you, loving them and caring about their life, respecting their life. Just respecting life, period, that you can't give a life, but you so easy can take one, and that's not good. I'm going to say this one thing, and I'm going to go ahead and go. I saw something that hurt my heart. I said it before, where I saw there was a picture of a Ku Klux Klansman in his full garment, all the white and everything. He had on the full garb, and he was standing next to a brother who was from Evanston, Chicago. Chicago. And the brother had on the black man had on he was a young brother too, probably in his 20s something. He had on a wife beater and some type of gold necklace or something with a gun on it, the gun pendant. And he was standing with his arms folded, and I think he had on a bandana scarf on his head. Yeah, wrapped around it like the way Tupac used to do. And caption underneath these two men standing together, the Ku Klux Klansman and a brother from the neighborhood. They were standing together, and the caption under there said, "Brothers." And I was like, "Brothers," and and what they were trying to depict, what they were trying to say is that the Ku Klux Klansman, his stance, or his number one thing that we remember is that he was killing black people, black men, hanging them, I mean, just all atrocities of how to kill a black man. And then they had they trying to say the black guy next to him was helping them out by killing brothers off, destroying the black man, killing them off. So he was helping, the young black man was helping them to get rid of black men. So they were like brothers. So that hurt me. That it messes me up when I have a poster of it in my house, and I just look at it and I be like, man, this should not be at all. But that's what we're living with nowadays. That's part of our existence right now, and so y'all think on that, and pray that Jehovah give us what to do so that we can be better to each other. 2022. And what can we do to help us to survive? How we can survive? I know the mindset is the most important thing. The mindset, how we think, is where we start. And then we can reach out and help help others. Okay? All right, I thank you guys for listening. That is all I have to say on the subject. You all be blessed, and have a safe and wonderful new year. Okay, peace out.